You can call me a disability advocate if you want.
Disability advocate.
Yeah.
All right, David, let's go.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to CripChat, a weekly podcast for everything disability. Today, I have with me Jonathan Shar,
Uh,
Ibby D, and myself, David D. And
Hello.
also today with us is uh, Jared Sanders. Hey, um,
You guys, so it's Jared Sandel. Hi.
Jared Sanders.
So
Hey,
disability community specialist.
disability community specialist.
All right, thank you for that, David. I'll take it from here. Please like and share. Today we talk about the Senate inquiry on the NDIS reform bill, bombshells and revelations. So, how are you today, Jared?
I'm good, thanks. Amy, hi everyone, how are you?
I'm good. I'm good. Welcome to the show, Jared. So, tell us a bit about yourself.
Um, I am a disability advocate. I've been advocating for about uh, 15 years and really been
Yeah.
passionate about the NDIS and making sure that um, it's the best one that we have.
Yeah, of course, of course. I think NDIS is a pretty big thing, especially when it comes to, people with disability. We use NDIS, and so we want it to be the best, for
Jared,
us. Just an overview. Yeah, David.
Jared, I've got a question. Where do you think NDIS is at the moment with it being at the best?
Um, it's been, I still think the NDIS is going through the learning stage. It's obviously doing really good things for most of us, but it's also not doing great things for some of us.
Okay, well, yeah, I guess some people can have positives and some are negative.
Yeah.
Yeah,
There's,
no, thank you for asking the question,
Are
David.
negative.
yeah. Um,
No, I agree. Well said,
Are
though.
negative.
Yeah, thank you for that, David. But yeah, well said, Jared. There are some ups and downs when it comes to the NDIS. But in relation to the NDIS reform bill, what are the key, I guess, components of the NDIS reform bill currently before federal parliament? And why is this bill significant for people with disability in Australia?
that's a great question. This this NDIS bill that at the parliament at the moment is gigantic. It's about 4 or 5 bills in one. But to give you a brief overview of the bill, this bill will, in my opinion, this bill will remove a lot of a lot of what we enjoy about NDIS now. And the government talk about fraud and misuse and the NDIS costing too much, but this bill doesn't do anything to stop that from happening. But what it does do, it will limit your plan. It will remove about 200,000 people. Sorry, boys. It will
No, you're
remove
all good,
about,
Jared. So, was that 200,000?
yeah, it will remove about
Yeah, come on.
200,000 people from the NDIS. People with psychosocial disabilities, autism. Not everybody with autism, but a lot. And what it does, it will put people back into boxes. So, there'll be a cerebral palsy box, and everybody with cerebral palsy will get a type of funding. And everybody with um, muscular dystrophy will get another type of funding. So it won't be about the individual, it will be the types of disability you have. And then when you get your funding, if you are not happy with it, there will be very few opportunities for you to review it. So you won't be able to review um, specific types of funding. You will only be able to review it as a whole, and that will be very hard. So this bill proposes very risky ideas around what should be funded and what shouldn't be.
No, thanks for sharing with us, Jared. Yeah, ooh, that's no good. It's gonna marginalize us people with disability in terms of how we get support, and to get rid of those with autism. You said that's not good. That's not good at all. Something must be done to change this. But bombshell revelations from Senate estimates. Sorry, Samantha. Oh, wait, hold on. Sorry. I'll repeat the question. So, can you summarize the major bombshells that were revealed during the Senate estimates hearing last night? And how did the Commissioner Michael Finn's lack of experience with people with disability impact the hearing?
So yeah, this was very interesting. Firstly, I'll talk about a man called Mr. I think his name is Mr. Doda, and he is looking at all the crime and all the fraud, and he kept saying stuff like people are buying drugs, they're buying mobile phones, they're buying holidays, but he couldn't name how many people, and he couldn't name how much money. He would just say stuff without backing up. And what that does is it undermines the NDIS it makes a lot of people with disabilities and a lot of plan managers and a lot of support coordinators look really bad. And we know that planners and support coordinators do really good work. And people, and we know that people with disabilities are not buying drugs with their NDIS money. And but what was even more concerning was Michael Finnan. Michael Finnan is the Quality and Safeguards Commission for the NDIS. And Michael Finnan's job is to keep people on the NDIS safe. But he could not even give an understanding of what we couldn't give an understanding about what a person with a disability is. He couldn't give an understanding of the social model of disability. And he could not give one example of the UNCRPD. Now, this man is responsible of the safety of 620,000 participants on the NDIS, and he does not know what disability looks like, which is absolutely mind-blowing. What is the point of his job if he doesn't know what disability looks like?
Sorry about that. Yeah, exactly, Jared. Spot on, man. Yeah, it makes that sense.
Now,
But anyway,
Jared,
we'll now move on to.
Jared, he
Yeah, sorry.
probably
Go ahead, David.
he said they've been using it on drugs, but he didn't specify whether it was medical or was it something that's not medical.
No, he was
Recreation.
talking about cocaine
Recreation.
and heroin, but he wouldn't give any numbers. He couldn't tell us anything. He couldn't
So
say
it
how
could
many
be
people.
it could be one person and one
Yeah,
person stuffed it up for everyone.
yeah, but there's no proof. And I think
There was no proof, David.
if you're going to say something, you
Gotta
need
back
to
it up.
back it up.
Exactly. You need the evidence to back it up. And that wasn't the case. Anyway, we'll move on to non-disclosure agreements and transparency. And so I ask you, Jared, what is the significance of the non-disclosure agreements that big bodies were made to sign regarding the NDIS review?
I
And
don't
how does this lack of transparency, sorry? No, go ahead, answer the question.
I don't know if you remember, but when Anthony Albanese became Prime Minister, he talked about how his government was going to be all about transparency and being an open book. And, and Bill Shorten talked about how he was going to build trust in with the disability community. He was going to win the trust of people with disabilities. So a non-disclosure agreement, and some people might not know what they are, so I'll explain really quick. A non-disclosure agreement is a piece of paper that says if you talk about what we are about to talk about in public, you may be sued a lot of money. So the minister and the government said to a few peak bodies. Now we don't know who they are because they're not allowed to tell you, but there are about 9 to 12 peak bodies that signed non-disclosure agreements to be able to see what the bill is. Now, if the bill is something that people with disabilities want, and if it's something that people with disabilities like, why do you need non-disclosure agreements for? Um, it just flies in the face um of what the government have told people around transparency and working with people with disabilities.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, thank you for that. Thank you for sharing. We'll move on to the funding of disability organizations. I know that my organizations, we're a non-for-profit advocacy organization, and we had our IOC funding rejected. So there are a lot of organizations that face similar consequences. So, Jared, what are the implications of over 170 disability organizations, including DROS and small P groups, being defunded by for ILC funding?
It's huge, Ibby. It's huge. These organizations hold up the work that governments have been underfunding for years.
Mm.
Um, there are groups and community groups that are a gateway for people with disabilities to get into community and into society. People who are not on the NDIS rely on these peer groups. And with so many of them being defunded, in a time when the NDIS is going through such enormous change, you are setting up the NDIS and outside the NDIS, you're setting up disabled people to fail. This will fail disabled people. At the best time that you should be investing in disability. My inbox and my phone for the last 4 weeks has been nothing but bad news for small organizations who tell me they've lost all their staff or they have to let go of a lot of their staff members. A lot of people are losing their jobs, and that's not the important thing. The important thing is the community is missing out on vital support that may never come back.
Yeah, yeah, it's terrible. It's terrible when we receive the news but it does destroy their
But
confidence and
don't you
I guess
believe?
motivation.
Don't you believe they're probably trying to stop people that do call themselves disabled that aren't really disabled?
How many people do you know that do that?
I don't know. Well, these days they create they get fake I don't know.
I think we have to be careful about not
Can you
making up.
clarify, David?
A lot of what do you consider disability?
Well, I think we have to be careful not to make up
Yeah, I know.
numbers of what how many people are pretending to be disabled. I don't know about you, but
Yeah.
I don't know many people that pretend to be disabled. Um, it's not something that's worth pretending to be
I
in
know. I know.
a country where we don't value disabled people really well. Um, but no,
Well said, well said. Yeah, nah, yeah, I don't know any of myself, David.
Yeah, I know. I don't know
What
any
did you
myself,
actually
but
mean by that question?
what do I mean by that question? The definition of disability. Have
well,
they have they
Yep.
have they really? Because a lot of people have
I guess,
who they put in the brackets of
look, I guess
disability.
it varies. You know, we don't really call it disability, but diverse abilities. You know, because we all have abilities, but
Yeah,
different abilities. Sorry, we all, I guess, function. You know, and different, but we're all, considered human beings,
yeah.
and we should all be treated with respect and yeah, be given, I guess, that support. But the NDIS is letting us down slowly. But thank you very much for your patience, Jared. We'll move on to the next question relating to Quality and Safeguards Commission. And so, discuss the role. So, discuss the role and responsibilities of the NDIS Quality and Safeguards Commission. How does the lack of disability experience among its leadership, as revealed by Commissioner Phelan, affect its operation and credibility?
I think what we saw from the commissioner last week was a really good example of why people with disabilities need to be in leadership roles. We need to be at the front of of how we keep people safe. And what I felt when I was watching what I was watching is we saw an able-bodied man who gets paid $500,000 to keep people with disabilities safe. And I know he's only been here for a little while, but he's been there long enough to be able to know what a disabled person is. And if that was not a question in his interview for the job, then that's a failure of the of DSS bringing him on board. Why wasn't
Yeah.
he asked about his understanding of disability? And why was he picked over the hundreds of thousands of professional disabled people who literally do this work for a living? I think it shows
Couldn't
that
agree more.
it shows that the government is very short-sighted and it's not really genuine when it comes to keeping people safe.
Yep, yep. Well said. Thank you for that, Jared. Now we'll talk about the definitions and morals of disability. So, Jared, why is it important for leaders and policymakers to understand and apply the social moral of disability? And how does the social moral of disability differ from other morals, such as the medical moral?
So that's a really good question. Thank you, Ibby. I think sometimes we can we can forget what why why we talk the way we talk, or why we believe in what we believe. But if we go back to a time before the NDIS, we remember what it was like to try to get things like our wheelchairs or our walking frames. We used to talk about how my body is broken, my legs don't work, or my eyes don't see well. And that's the medical model. The NDIS is supposed to follow the social model. And the social model says, I have a, I have a impairment called cerebral palsy. And in my environment, there are things that get in my way which make me disabled. I cannot walk to the shops because the shops are too far away, or I can't get into a building because there's stairs. So my cerebral palsy doesn't necessarily make me disabled, but the staircase at my local shopping center does. And so when we apply that lens to the NDIS, the NDIS is supposed to go, okay, what do you need to participate in society to be able to do the things that everybody else does, rather than trying to spend money fixing my cerebral palsy.
That was very well said, and I could not agree with you more. We are not sick people. We yeah, don't need to be fixed at all. We yeah, I guess we are people with disabilities, and we need to adapt, to the environmental factors that are around us. It's the environmental factors that do make us disabled indeed. So thank you very much for that, Jared. We'll now move on to advocacy and response. And how have disability advocates and organizations responded to these revelations? from the Senate inquiry? And what are the immediate steps being taken to address the concerns raised during the hearing?
Every single disability advocacy org and disability advocate, apart from one, said that this bill should not be passed in its current form and needs a lot of work. So only one disability advocate who was appearing at the committee thinks this bill is good enough the way it is. So we heard stories of people being worried that this bill might force them to live in a group home with people that they don't know. This bill, people talked about how this bill will remove self-management. This bill will allow support workers who people trust not be able to go back to the people they work for, and that this bill is going to bring back independent assessments. So this is how the disability community reacted to the bill. Now you cannot tell me that all of those people are wrong. We have been doing this for decades and decades and decades. We know what works and what doesn't work. So I would urge the government to really have a look at of the concerns that people with disabilities are raising.
Yeah, thank you for that, Jared. We'll now move on to the future of the NDIS reform bill. And so, what are the potential outcomes and next steps for the NDIS reform bill in light of these new developments? And how can the disability community continue to advocate for meaningful and effective reforms?
So one of the things Bill Shorten says that we can't do nothing. And the disabled community never said we want to do nothing. I think we all want to make the NDIS better than what it is at the moment. The problem is this bill will not make the NDIS better. But what can happen is either the government can listen to our concerns, they can withdraw the bill at any time, or if the government won't listen, then the members of the parliament can. And we have to talk to every member of the parliament and tell them that this bill is bad, this bill is dangerous. And we can do that. And what the parliament can do is say, we're not passing this bill, we're going to send it back. And the government can go back and try again. It can talk to more people with disabilities. It can get better advice than it can. The government got advice from a company called um so the government got advice from a company called Redbridge that told the NDIS that if they talk about fraud, then it was able for the government to cut the NDIS. So the government had been talking to the wrong people. What and so
Yeah.
the parliament can tell the government, go back, talk to the right people. Maybe you don't have to withdraw the whole bill, but maybe you can change it and try again. Because we all agree that we need to do something about the NDIS, but this is not what we need to do right now.
Yep. Yep. Thank you for that, John. I think one of the most important things is being able to share personal stories and lived experiences. That's always key, and the impact it has on people with disability. So, in saying that, can you share personal stories from individuals with disabilities about how the NDIS has impacted their lives, both positively and negatively? And how do these stories highlight the importance of proper management and reform of the NDIS?
For me, I can only talk about what the NDIS has done for me and my family. Um, with the NDIS, I've been able to have a job. I've been able to be the husband that I want to be. I am able to participate in the community that I love so much. I absolutely love the disability community. And without the NDIS, without the NDIS, I can't imagine where I would be. I have a feeling I might be stuck in a group home somewhere with people I don't know. So I'm
Oh,
so grateful.
I know.
I'm so grateful for the NDS, and that's why I want to make sure that any changes to it are for the better.
well, we agree. We agree. We don't want to be put in a group home, living with others that we don't know, like as if we're a campsite, and we want to
Yep.
be treated the way we want to be treated.
And we have to remember
Yep.
that um, disabled people have something to do in this world. We have a purpose. We're not here to take and take and take. We are here to give as well. But if we are not supported to give back to our communities, then it's the community that misses out on what we have to offer.
I agree.
Exactly, exactly. I guess look, the NDIS, has benefited us in so many ways,
But
but
we've
there
also
are,
benefited them
some
too.
challenges.
We've benefited
Exactly,
the
exactly.
community too with people having jobs.
Absolutely.
Exactly, and for them to, reduce the supports that we get, from the government is it's something that we need to advocate for. And I guess you being a true leader in the space, Jared, we must continue to be the voice of our community. Like you said, you love the disabled community, so do I, and the disability community loves us for the work that we do, and we will continue, with the work that we do, so that we don't get left behind. The NDIS is an important, aspect of our lives. It helps us live the independent lives, make our own decisions, and just live a normal life, just like everybody else. So continue to do the work that you do, Jared. Yeah, awesome. It's awesome to have you on the show, and you're always welcome to come join us and talk more about the NDIS. And give us an update on what's happening.
I would love that. Thanks, boys.
Thank you very much for being on the show, Jared.
No, I.
You've been watching CripChat,
And
a
for
weekly
that,
podcast for everything disability. Please join for keep watching for other days and other.
join us next week as we talk more about disability. Goodbye for now. Thank you once again, Jared. Thank you very much.
Say, boys.
Goodbye.